when you're at the back, change the other direction. Same when you're at the back, change direction. Making circles. Shoulder relax. Relax your shoulder down. Shoulder down. Relax the shoulders. Whenever we're exercising, doing our basic coordination stuff, the knees stay at the same level. When we turn, you'll find one goes up, one goes down. The hips stay at the same level. We don't want the hips tilted. The shoulders stay at the same level. So you want the hips and the shoulders to stay like so. The eyesight has to stay at the same level. When we're bending the knees now, go into a bit more stance practice, the hips have to stay here, the shoulders here, the eyes have to stay here on this plane. So when we step it's, or moving it's like so, not up and down. very hard to judge things like that. If you can keep everything at the right level, um, that's what we're after in the beginning, just basic coordination. So next one, stretching the lower back. Pull back the toe and bend at the waist. Push back, bend at the waist. Relax the arms. Push back, bend. Let the arms come down. And other side. First warm it up. Hands on top of the knee. Pull the toe back and remember, bend at the waist. Don't bend here at the waist. Get the hands down to the feet. Get your head down to the knee. Kiss your foot, whatever level you're up to. And then it's holding a ball in front. Come up. Push back. Bend at the waist. Relax. Let the arms come down loosely. Swing the shoulders. Okie doke. Wing Chun stance. It's like a tripod. When we look down, which you don't, but to check something, you should just see the very outside of your shoe up against your toes, up against the knee. So you look past your knee, just see the outside of the shoe, that's all. You can have your feet parallel, still tripod, knees tucking in. It's a goat riding stance. So you have to feel like you're holding a little goat or a sheep or a dog between your legs. Right, so that activates all these muscles. Keep the tailbone tucked in, and we want the head up straight. It's very important to look at yourself and see your shoulders aren't over your hips, that way or that way. We want straight. And when squatting down, it all stays straight. The knees don't go over that way. So imagine two poles down in front here, and hands have to be able to go up and down there. Relax the shoulders and use the body. So in the beginning, it's very important to build up these muscles. So it's a lot of squatting. The Chinese in the old days, lots of places, they all go to the toilet like this. This is essential if you want to do Chinese Kung Fu. I find Westerners sit like this for a minute, they're in trouble, their legs start cramping. Where Asian societies, they're very used to sitting like this, much better than sitting on a chair. So include this in your practice every now and then. Squat right down, feet on the ground, still have flexibility in your ankles, not just sort of holding on or whatever. Get flexible and relaxed in these postures so you can sit for a while. Back to the Wing Chun stance. So we hold the hands up high and off the body just a little bit. Keeping the head up, the chin tucked in, and the tongue on the top palate of the mouth. So the very start of Wing Chun is about how do we make the correct fist. First movement, making a fist. So these pads here have to contact these pads here. So you have to roll up to there and then roll your fist. Right. Try and get a feel for it. It should feel nice and tight and coordinated. But they have to roll up like so before rolling them. You'll get quick at that, putting the finger pads up here into here. But you have to practice it a little bit to get that comfortable feel of the fist. Open, making a fist. Open, making a fist. Already, if you're rolling it up a lot better, you'll be feeling the little muscles around and it's actually pumping up. You end up with like a cannonball on the end of a chain. Bang! Vibrate someone. Hands come up, shoulder distance. The elbows are pointing down. Essential for Wing Chun. So don't do it flaring. Make the correct fist. Roll up properly, thumbs on the outside. Turn the hands over. And the elbows have stayed down the whole time. That's the essential part, you know. Pull back 1 inch off the body. Now bend the knees. Now the hips are going to stay at this level from here on. So left leg, circle, bring the balance to the left. Right leg, circle, bring the balance to the middle. And we're up straight. So we've got to stay here 20 minutes now. You've got to get used to standing still for Chinese boxing. This is essential. If we go on now and learn the next moves, all your thought changes already and it's coming out. You have to learn details about all that. First, you have to concrete these details. Just staying straight and turning around. Everyone goes from one side to the other. When I focus on them and tell them after a while, then they start turning like this. Oh yeah, I feel the middle. But they lose all their movement. You have to really find something deeper in the core. All these muscles around, you know, you have to be able to loosen them up around your core and stuff. And so then when you're moving and stuff, you've also got that stillness there. But first we have to master the stillness, otherwise everything's off a little bit skewed. It's not pure. Hands up, make the correct fist, pull them back to the correct position, make sure it's turned up properly. Make sure your elbows are pointing down the whole time. Head points still up. You're sensitive to your feet on the ground. Bend the knees, lower your center of gravity, you'll feel the ground more. Right, so whether you open the toes this way and then the heels, right, that's it, we stay here. 20 minutes is the requirement, Wing Chun Essentials. That's it, breathing, relaxing. Think, am I calm? Should feel a change. Am I relaxed? You've got to sink into the ground. You've got to grow roots. And am I soft? The hardest one for the boys to get into. Soft. Who wants to be soft? Softness has its powers. The breathing you want to make soft. In the beginning, you might not feel it gather here like a really nice tight ball that you can move throughout your body. It goes down and up really quick. In the beginning, you just feel a weak thread. And after a while, you can feel it going down to the abdomen where, you know, the diaphragm is where we breathe from, where we want to speak from. If you're talking to a crowd, you got to speak from there, you know. You can't just speak from up here. So it's learning really nourish the body and build up the energy. To do anything in this world, first you've got to have the energy for it. You want good Wing Chun, stand here 20 minutes, that's it. And then finish. You want to be very good at it, do it 3 times. So make sure you've made the correct fist. Your elbows are pointing down. Your head points up, your spine's nice and straight, you're tucking your tail in. Remember, Wing Chun has this punch mainly, but we also have this little jab. Yeah, you see it? There it is, right there, jab, jab. This is our main one. Look at this, 2 uppercuts no one ever talks about. And then we pull back, bend the knees. 1, move the balance, keep straight. 2, bring the balance to the middle. Now a lot of adjustment, tucking the tailbone in, stretching the head point. We've got to open up all the vertebrae on the spine. Everyone, head point up and they crunch here. Got to have your chin tucked in. You've got to have everything as straight so it can have this pull on it. Essentially, this crown point is going to line up with our peridium. That's in the middle of the private parts. If we can keep that straight and have an imaginary line underneath there into the ground, you always know where your center is and you can shift it these little ways. But you know, the whole thing is shifting more from here, turning from here. This up here is all relaxed, nothing. And then these little twitches really get your punches happening effortlessly, a lot more controlled, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's better not talking too much, but this is the initial Wing Chun Essentials video, so I need a little bit of explanation. Yeah, welcome to Wing Chun Essentials. Start off. You can't start like this, remember? Even when you come to start, walking nice, all open. Turn around. This is called woo-wee before anything. Preparing. A lot of mental work going on right now. Trying not to think, trying not to wonder, just being what I want to be at that point in time. Right, commence the form. Elbows are down. Shoulders relaxed. Bend the knees. Now we're going to stay at this distance with the hips to the ground for 20 minutes. And it's fine to start 5 minutes every day. Build that up 10 minutes every day and then go for it 20 minutes every day. How long for? 3 months. And then these threads are set and they're going to keep developing. When we start learning other things, you have the correct thing, correct poise. It's all spheres. All we are is a lot of spheres everywhere. They need to all be going good. Someone might have a problem with a sphere. The energy won't go through that part of the hip. That's called crippled Kung Fu. It's more common than people think. You can still learn Kung Fu, still get it all flowing. A little bit will get through there, a little bit more, a little bit more. Everyone's at a different stage of development. So, yeah, everyone to their own essentially, but no thinking outside, no thinking anything else. To start thinking yourself. Wing Chun beginners, I don't want you, hands up and always thinking on your opponent's elbows or your opponent's center line and no. That's all important, yeah, sure, but you've got to have much stronger thought in yourselves first. That's the purpose of our foundation training, get ourselves good first. So besides running if you're young, walking if you're like me, middle-aged, or swimming, it's a very good one for our seniors. Get into that as well. It'll really accelerate your martial art training. For the young guys, all day, start punching, kicking like we walk, yeah? So when you walk, it's usually opposite hand, opposite foot. So watch this, all I do is swing it. I want loose hips, loose shoulders. Like an English guard or one of the soldiers you see just walking along and they swing. So for Chinese boxing, Chang Chuan, that's the foundation for all the Chinese martial arts. Instead of swinging, you have to more, right? So you're kicking, you're pulling this elbow back, you're stretching that arm forward, you're twisting the body as much as you can, and you want to keep it all there, and then it's all going to turning with the body. You're not using my shoulders, and so this elbows pull back, this one's go forward, this kick's coming, and the hips pulling. So my hips are staying straight. Twisting using the spine. But yeah, it just starts by walking normal and then just adding a little bit to it. Remember to stay straight. Hips are very hard to work out. Some people are trying to recover, some people don't even realise they have a hip problem and it's slowly getting harder and harder. You can turn that stuff around. Qigong, fine-tuning the body. That's all it is, opening it up more and more, letting it all flow. You see the animals with that spine, the organs just hang and the energy flows through them when they want to. Humans, we've got the spine like this and everything's packed in close together. And Wing Chun, you even tuck it in more. So you also got to have that open, looseness to it. And yeah, sure, it has to come on quick and onto your center line, exactly. You have to know this center line, but it's more important knowing my balance and that's good and I can affect their balance. If my balance goes off a little bit, I've got to adjust it. But the balance is the most important thing. We're actually fighting with someone's balance. Okay, that's what you're fighting against. So someone comes in to punch, I just add a bit to it and they're off balance, and it's very easy at that point. If someone throws a punch and I can see their legs both twisting and everything staying balanced, hey, watch out. You have to get in there, contact softly, gently, be very careful. Other people just fly at you with something. You just turn, face the point of contact, forward energy, and they're going to be coming into your punch, and you've got to be ready to follow then, and the opponent will tell you what to do. But anyway, I've talked way too much now. I always give out too much information. That's it. 20 minutes. Everyone knows this form so far. If anyone forgets this, elbows are down, fingers packed together, just gently, thumbs in. Make the correct fist. Roll it up properly, turn it around. Don't hold on the body, elbows out, pull it, everything's straight. Remember, everything's straight. More important here, the stance. In the middle, tuck like you're holding something. 20 minutes, 3 months, every day. Sunday you can have off, but you have to do it twice or 3 times on Monday. Wing Chun Essentials, #1.